tons of talking, top rope walking, ultimate Xing, serious flexing, never be vague with your boy Craig, and opinion mixing from Pete to Nixon. Keep doing things in an impactful way. Bloody nonsense, as the Brits say. Talking bloody nonsense.
Yes, it's me, it's the MIC, Craig, aka Mr. Impact, back once again with the one and only Peter Nixon. This is Talking Bloody Nonsense right here on the TNA IW channel. It's a new week, it's a new Impact, but first things first. Nixon, how's it going?
All good here, thank you, Craig. I wrestled for Pro Wrestling East, PWE, this past Saturday in the main event against RJ Singh for their men's championship. One of the better matches of my career. Really fun match. Honor to be in there with someone like RJ Singh, who's massive. 2 seconds, Craig. Sorry, mate.
No worries.
Dinky, what are you doing? Dinky, stop it.
Interruptions from a pup. Oh, getting a drink.
Naughty girl.
Here we go. So if you're waiting, we will be talking No Surrender in a little bit. Let us know your favourite No Surrender. Of course, do the whole thing. Follow us here, there, everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, wherever else you podcast. Everything we do here is on our YouTube channel. So go check out all the amazing content we do here on the channel. More to come, hopefully. But to wait and see, and I believe Nixon is. Nixon's back. There we have it.
Oh, bloody dog. She started chewing on a parcel that's just arrived for Kaylee.
Yeah, it's amazing what dogs have a taste for, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing taste for. You know, you were saying after your match with the King.
Yeah, someone who's been around for as long as RJ and has got so much respect within the British wrestling community. And just someone that's so bloody good,
Yeah.
you know. He was tremendous, very humble guy, and I couldn't have asked for a better match, main event, opponent. Yeah, it was a really good weekend.
Nice one. Yeah, I've seen RJ in person once. Incredible. Sovereign Pro teamed up with the Models. Against the new group in Sovereign Pro called the Collective of Kelly Six, Leighton Buzzard, Danny Jones, Bullets, and LA Taylor. Very good faction. But I guess we should just talk some No Surrender since it was only a few days ago. As we normally do here, we'll kick off with the pre-show, the kick-off show, countdown show, whatever you call it, and we'll just bundle that into one nice little parcel for you. We'll start off with Giselle Shaw, who with Jay Vidal defeats Dion Perazzo with the help of Savannah Evans, and Jonathan Gresham defeats Speedball Mike Bailey in second match on the kickoff countdown show. Yeah, what does it make of those two matches? On first of all with the Savannah Evans, Jay Vidal, Giselle Shaw thing. What do you make of that and the match in general? And where do you think? Can you see what the next possible step for Deonna could be?
A multi-layered question there. I'm excited for Giselle's faction. It gives her a tag team partner going forward. You know, she's been bouncing around between tag team partners. That's what led to the match with Deonna. Nice little group faction going on. I don't know what they're calling themselves. I'm sure we'll find out this week on Impact. Good match. Nicely told story. It gives Giselle direction going forward. I don't know what you now do with Deonna. Is her time with Impact coming up? I don't know when her contract expires.
No.
I mean, she's Deonna Purrazzo. She's the virtuosa. You can slot her into any spot on the card. So that's not a worry. You don't need to repackage her or anything because she's already over. It also made me think, what of Tasha Steelz?
Right.
I know she left, and she hasn't. I don't know if she's left the company, but she walked out on TV. Said I don't know, I need to go away or something. So maybe they're repackaging her and bringing her back. I'm pretty sure she just signed a new contract, so I don't think she's actually left.
No.
What are your thoughts, Craig?
First of all, the match was excellent because they're both two fantastic wrestlers. Giselle Shaw's if you're in the UK or on the independent scene, in the States or Canada, and you've seen Giselle Shaw on some independent shows, you knew how good she was, and now the world's getting to see how good she is. It's the same with Deonna Purrazzo. No one really paid much attention to her in NXT because she wasn't used right in NXT, and now is one of the best women's wrestlers, but probably one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. As far as the Savannah thing goes, I didn't watch the Impact before that because I had to catch up on a few things. So I just went and watched No Surrender. So it was even more of a surprise to me to see Savannah Evans pop up and help Giselle. Even though I kind of knew something was coming, I didn't know what it would be. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic between those three. I have no clue how it could go because it's three very different dynamics in that group. So it'd be intriguing to see what they can do with that. Deonna, again, the rumors are she hasn't re-signed yet. Her contract's running up. But I don't know if Impact have offered us something. They'd be daft not to offer anything. But I hope she sticks around. But it's on the same thing of, but what's next?
Yeah.
What can they do with Deonna Purrazzo? I mean, like you said, she is the virtuoso. She can do anything and everything you put in front of her. But what is that? For me, I kind of had the same feeling about Taya Valkyrie when she returned. What can they do with Taya Valkyrie after she's the longest reigning knockouts world champion in history? Deonna Purrazzo is one of the best knockouts world champions we've had in the last 5-6 years. So to say, yeah, if it's down to me, keep her around. But what can they do? She could go back to WWE, I suppose. Triple H seems to know what he's doing when it comes to the people that NXT released. AEW is, of course, another option. Ring of Honor, again, that's another option for her. But I hope Impact just put up a fight and try and keep her around. And there are some very creative minds in that backstage area for Impact Wrestling. If they can't think of something for her Deonna to do, then I'm not sure who can. So it's all about waiting and seeing what happens. But I'm looking forward to what this faction of Giselle, Savannah, and Jay Vidal come up with.
100%.
Be a fun one. So next up, Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Matt Bailey. What can you say about that? A banger. Of course, everyone knew it would be. What did you think of the match?
What I liked about it was we knew what style of wrestling this match would be. We knew what to expect, and I think they purposely under-delivered because there's more that they can do, and I'm seeing maybe a feud develop, a competitive rivalry.
Yeah.
How good was that tag? Well, no, you missed it, didn't you? The tag match, Motor City Machine Guns, Speedball and Gresham. It was amazing.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, this match was fantastic. Would love to have seen it get more time. But yeah, I think they put it on the pre-show, so that could be their first match, and they can work. If they do, let's just say they do a best of 7 series, for example, they can move that match further and further up the card to where the final match is the main event.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was absolutely outstanding, and can't wait to see more of these two together.
Right. It's a very smart move by Impact putting that on the countdown show. very smart move because, like we keep saying, that's a very important part of a pay-per-view. Because people on the fence might think about buying it because of that match. And part of me wanted to see it because I knew they were on a time limit. Part of me wanted to see it like carry on into the main show for the first few minutes, and then. But yeah, I think a feud, a rivalry between those two has to be on the cards. I know they're in a fatal 4-way soon on Impact. Impact announced it. It's Gresham, Bailey, Yuya, and Black Taurus, which is going to be an excellent match. I hope it does continue from there as well to see what those two are capable of doing. Yeah, all in all, I've just a great countdown show. Gresham and Bailey, excellent, like everyone knew they would be. Giselle, Shaw, and Deonna again delivered massively, like they usually do. So, out of 10, what did you give them the pre-show?
I'll give it an 8.5. I've seen better pre-shows, and Impact always do fantastic pre-shows. I'll say this: I over the past year, and this is a bold statement I'm going to make, I've been enjoying the Impact Plus specials more so than I've been enjoying the main pay-per-views.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, honestly, same here, because the Plus specials, they tend to just put on random matches and they bang. That is a way to describe it. But out of 10 for the pre-show, I'm going 8, just a solid 8. It was very, very good. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Wasn't the best of the best, but still very good, and 4 excellent wrestlers on that show.
Yeah, massively.
Now we'll go to the main show. Frankie Kazarian defeated Khan. What did you make of that? I know I wasn't, like a lot of people, were particularly looking forward to it. To me, that felt like more of a countdown match, but it was good still. But I guess it's because I'm struggling to really care or see what the design is leading to. But what's your take on Kazarian and Khan?
Well, I do. Pardon me. I do agree with you. I wasn't overly invested in the match coming in, but I thought they massively over-delivered. I thought the match was really, really good. Easily the best match I've seen Khan have. I know they did some good stuff when they were in the Ascension, Connor and Victor. But just as a solo act, I thought Khan really stepped up. And I know that's a lot to do with Kazarian bringing him up to his level.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good call not putting it on the pre-show and letting them open the main show, because it keeps Kazarian's stock at a certain level. Because I firmly believe Kazarian, in his run with Impact, will be the world champion. So yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah, over-delivered on every front.
The match, it was a very, very good match. I just seeing Dean on the ramp and Callahan, Angels at ringside. It was. I guess it's more to the fact that we also spoke about it in a bit more depth in a previous episode about the design and the direction of the design. But it is what it is, fair play to Khan. His first singles match on a major show in his career. That's great for him. Finally getting his shot. Kazarian is just fantastic in every way. I liked having Santino on commentary as well. I thought that was a nice little touch. Santino very entertaining, like he always is. So yeah, it was a very good match. Right winner. This week on Impact should be more interesting given what happened with Callahan and Khan. So out of 10, what are you giving that one?
An 8. Yeah, I can't really fault it. I mean, it wasn't the main event of WrestleMania, but yeah, really, really solid. 8 out of 10.
I'm saying a 7.
Okay,
It was still good, but I can't get past the design thing at the minute.
That's
Hopefully
fair.
I can soon. Then we had Knockouts Tag Team titles on the line. The Death Dolls defeating the Hex or Hex. Not sure which one it is. But again, a really, really good tag team match. I've said it before, I'm not the biggest fan of Hex, in particular Alison Kay. Not the biggest fan, but you know, like I said, when they came in, it's a legit tag team who have been successful elsewhere, coming in to fight for these titles. I'm not sure where it goes now that they've lost. The Hex lost. I know the Hex are free agents and they can do pretty much whatever they want. But all in all, is a very good match. Jessica is excellent. Still slightly confused as to why Rosemary wasn't in that match, given that it was Rosemary's father who wanted the payment or whatever it was. What did you make of it though, as a tag match from the Hex? What can you see for the Hex in Impact? Is there any more to do, or what's your take on it?
It's hard to say because they were brought in. They did lose straight away, so given they are free agents, maybe they were just brought in for that one shot. I think there's more story to be told with Father James Mitchell and Rosemary's father. Maybe this is the avenue where they bring Sue Young back. I don't know. I thought the match was okay. One of the better Impact women's tag team championship matches. Yeah, you're right about Alison Kay. On Impact, she did a spot where she went to give Taya the stink face, and they reversed it, and Taya gave her the stink face. It just didn't make sense in the grand scheme of the match, and it didn't make sense for Alison Kay's character. Certainly, you know, within Hex, it just, I don't know. I thought, why is she doing that? Yeah, the match was fine, but didn't blow me away.
No, it was. It's disappointing in a way that the Knockouts tag team titles since they've come back has been very up and down, more down, for being honest. It is frustrating to see it because these Knockouts tag titles, they again when they came back, when they were first created for Impact, you know, they had a push behind them, but then it's following the same path right now, and it's unfortunate to see. You know, yes, Decay on the Death Dolls on the verge of breaking the record, or probably would have broken the record of Beautiful People as a Freebird rule, and the Freebird rule. But you know, it doesn't feel like these titles are really that important to the company, because I mean, overall, how many legit tag teams have held them? I can think maybe 2 or 3 since they've come back.
It's difficult. I think they're a good way of getting more women on a card.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, what prestige do they really have, those belts?
Yeah, and it was I've noticed there aren't that many tag team matches setting up contenders for these titles either. It's if one person from a team beats another person from a team, and then next person from the team beats the other person from the team, that's the number one contenders match right there.
Yeah.
But you can just have someone pin the champions, which I can't remember last time that happened. It doesn't have to be for the titles. You can just, in a match, a setup match, have someone. It sucks to see that these titles are just almost there.
Yeah.
Death Dolls have done a very good job. Don't get me wrong. They did a very good job of holding these titles and doing a good job as champions. But how many times are they on TV? Maybe in a month, maybe twice, 3 times if they're lucky. There could be a lot more to do with these Knockouts tag titles, but there just isn't.
Mm.
And that's the unfortunate part of it. So again, out of 10 for the Knockouts tag team titles match.
5.5.
I think I'm going to be slightly more generous and go for a 6.
Okay.
Very good. Well, certainly a good match. But there's bits of it that's slightly confusing and a bit lackluster in the division.
Yeah.
Hopefully that changes. But
yeah, that rating is no reflection on the ability of any of the wrestlers in that match. Just the match didn't do it for me.
No, it's 4 great competitors in that match, 2 very good tag teams. But it was fine. Next up, a very, very fun match. .combat match for the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship. Joe Hendry defeats Moose. I mean, I go ahead and start this one because I've got to get some thoughts together on this one because there was a lot going on in this one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of fun, silly, comedic bits in the match. I love the use of the Dreamcast. I still own a Dreamcast. A really underrated console, but that's a topic for another podcast. There's one bit in the match that really brought the match down for me, and that was when you probably know what I'm talking about. When Joe Hendry put the VR headset on Moose and they played Dancing Moose, and they played the scene from the club and Moose is dancing and that. It was silly. I love a bit of comedy in wrestling, but yeah, that was just silly for the sake of silly. I think Moose is better than that. And if they continue to do stuff like that with Joe Hendry, the fans might sour on him, and that worries me. I think they're safe at the moment because both men are over.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moose doesn't need to be doing stuff like that. If this was a comedy promotion like Chikara back in the day, knock yourselves out. That spot would be perfect. But on Impact Wrestling No Surrender, in a heated, because this is the second time they've wrestled, they've got a feud going, and they're doing silly stuff like that. I don't know if that's the right place and the right time. Otherwise, I thought the match was a lot of fun, very entertaining, and it really got Joe Hendry over.
Yeah, did a very good job of that. I'm with you on the VR headset thing because I don't understand why that had to be a part of it necessarily. Very creative use of it, very creative use of the stipulation as well. And obviously we've just seen a few combat matches now, and wasn't just the same old of being dropped into keyboards or onto phones or mouses used or whatever they used. So in that sense, great. But yeah, again, love Joe Hendry. I think he's very, very good at what he does. But the Dancing Moose isn't his best work on Impact. It's funny, but when you go from Dancing Moose to Edge's Bitch, you two completely different things, and what you can see, he works a lot harder on one than the other, which is no disrespect to Joe, because what he does, he smashes it every time. There's so many of his songs that are incredible. A Shite People's Elbows, one of my favorites. That was excellent. But Nancy Moose isn't one of my favorites, which is unfortunate. But as far as the match goes, they're so over. Joe Hendry has done an incredible job of getting over in a short amount of time, because a lot of people may not know who he is unless you've watched Impact from 2018 or before 2018, or if you watch Ring of Honor for that short amount of time before COVID massively hit.
Yeah.
Or unless you've watched ICW on the network or on demand, or however you watched ICW or seen the clips on YouTube or Twitter and stuff, you wouldn't necessarily know who Joe Hendry is. But to come in and do the stuff he's been doing for years, but has improved so much as a wrestler as well. To come on and do this and get over so quickly and win a championship and do it really well. The DMC, it was, no one really took it seriously until Cardona had it for a little bit, then it swapped a bit, and now Joe Hendry's taking it on. He's doing a lot for that title, a lot for it, and I'm all for it because like I said, it was treated as a bit of it's just another title. It would be the internet title. I like how Impact have taken it and stopped it as just a match on YouTube, as a digital media exclusive match. Made it a part of Impact, made it part of the main pay-per-view. I believe that's the second time since Joe Hendry's defended it twice against Moose, and both times it's been on the main show of the show. I don't think that happened for Cardona, really. If you're not an Impact, can't remember if you defended on the countdown shows, but to have that title on the card and belong on that card, that's a lot of credit there to Joe Hendry.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just excellent what he can do. But as far as the match goes, very entertaining. You know, it could have gone a lot of ways with the dot combat stipulation, but they took it on, did something different with it than has happened before. And I think it's been now with Joe Hendry and Moose, that's the third dot combat match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, second or third.
Yeah, Cardona and Jordan had the first. Yeah. Myers and Swan have the second.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then Hendry and Moose. Excellent. Very, very good stuff. So again, the question, out of 10, what are you giving that match?
Would have been a 9, but the VR headset spot has brought it down to an 8 for me.
I'm with you on the 8. Yeah, I think it's a very good, very fair rating for, what was essentially a comedy match.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. Very, very good stuff. Next up, 4-way to determine the number one contender for the Impact World Championship. You had Steve Macklin defeating Brian Myers, Heath, and PCO. I really enjoyed this match. And I'll say it now, if it hadn't been for the main event, this would be my match of the night.
Ooh, okay.
It's a fatal 4-way match for me can sometimes seem a bit like it's like they're over-egging it a bit, like they're doing a bit too much or not enough. It's very hard to find that balance of getting it right, and I think these 4 did. Yeah, you had the interference by Eddie Edwards, which everyone knew was coming. So it didn't ruin the match in any way. It worked very well because you know what's coming with PCO and Eddie Edwards next. So and it was the right winner as well. It's finally the right winner. Myers and Heath, they look very good. Because Heath, Heath had more championships at the world title than Macklin, so's Brian Myers. And it's the name value, like we keep saying, with Heath and Rhino and Myers and Cardona. It's the name value that comes along with those guys. So to have them in that match, and it just worked. PCO's doing this PCO stuff. And the other dives, it looked really, really good. What was your take on that match?
I couldn't really say it any better than you. I honestly thought they might go with PCO in this match because the next Impact Plus special is in Windsor, Ontario, in Canada. I
Yeah,
thought
Sacrifice.
maybe they'll go with an all Canadian world title match on
Okay.
that show, and then do something with PCO and Eddie. But then it was announced that the winner of that match would get their shot at Rebellion. So it does make sense for Macklin. Yeah, outstanding stuff here. Just exactly what you'd expect from these four men. PCO doing his stuff, Macklin being Macklin, and then Myers and Heath are consummate professionals. Yeah, I thought this match was really entertaining. On a solid show, it stood out as one of the better matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll talk about PCO and Trey in a moment.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about that now.
Yeah. Okay. I've got thoughts.
See, Trey probably should have saying they should have been on that show, and he's taking out all the monsters. And if it hadn't been for Eddie Edwards, he would have taken out PCO too. Go ahead. What was your take on that, and where do you see this leading to? Just a one-off brawl, or can you see PCO become X Division champion? I feel like people want.
So I think they've announced PCO and Trey for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's certainly not just a one-off. Hoping they have a little run, but I know PCO is feuding with Eddie, so I can't see PCO winning the title. Not yet, anyway. Because obviously setting up for PCO and Eddie at Rebellion in some sort of gimmick match, no doubt, which obviously I can't wait for.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I love the fact that they left Trey off the pay-per-view because he had that outstanding Monsters Ball match, which you need to see, Craig. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's on it's on there. It's on the list.
So they didn't need to put the X Division title on this show because they had that big title defense in the main event with Crazy Steve. So yeah, just to get Trey to come out and cut a bit of a promo, show his face, and then set something up with PCO, I thought that was the right move. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what those two do together in a singles capacity. I would like to see it again once the Eddie feud is over. And I think PCO will be an amazing X Division champion. I think he'll be world champion as well. But yeah, I think he would certainly be the oldest X Division champion. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with this.
Yeah, it's looking like a lot of fun, and they're gonna have a great match. Because PCO is PCO, and Trey as this heel is some of my favorite work with Trey Miguel. Is absolutely smashing it, and I can't wait to see more because he's great. I still want to see Wentz and involved somewhere if Trey. I'm not sure a tag team will work now at this point now. It could still work, but I think right now, keep Trey as a singles in the X Division. Maybe have Wentz come in challenge him at some point.
I think you could bring in the other Rascals, Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz, and have them be a heel faction and the backup to the X Division champion.
Yeah.
And then when he eventually loses the title, they can go after the tag titles or do something else. They could have really cool matches with Ace and Bay and the Motor City Machine Guns. But they've got a full roster at the moment, so maybe they're biding their time on that front.
Yeah, I think so. So again, out of 10, what are you giving this one?
8.5.
I want to go with 9, but it's very good. But for me, spoiler alert, for me, there wasn't a 10 out of 10 on this card, which is so I'll go. Yeah, I'll go 8.5 as well on that one. I can't quite give it a 9, but it's still so good.
Yeah.
Next, then we had 6-man tag team action with the Bullet Club, Ace, Bay, and Kenta taking on Time Machine, Mexican Machine Guns, and Kushida. What a match! Oh, I just want to say this with the Bullet Club and Ace and Bay in particular. When Ace and Bay first became part of the Bullet Club, and it was just Ace and Bay and insert someone here, used to feel like Ace and Bay featuring Bullet Club. Now it's Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Kenta didn't look like he was just there to help them out or there to, he felt like they were part of a group and they were close. And I'm glad that's happening, because I know a lot of people weren't keen on, in particular, Ace Austin joined the Bullet Club, but I think it's worked out very well. And Ace and Bay, they're the next tag team champions for Impact Wrestling. I'll say it now. What was your take on the match?
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought they did look like a faction, and it worked really well. And there's so many other people you can slot into that position. Taiji Ishimori being the main one that swings to mind, or Phantasmo, who has been in Impact already. Yeah, what can be said? The action was spectacular, and it's so fluid. I couldn't see any fuck ups anywhere.
Yeah.
It was just so smooth and slick, and sometimes that's what you want in wrestling, and certainly with Impact, which they've got this reputation for having the best X Division action in the world, but also it's such a variety show that you need to have these peaks and troughs on a wrestling show, and you need to have something for everyone. And so the No Surrender was a brilliantly paced show because it kept me engaged the whole time. But yeah, this was the perfect match for that style. That 6-person tag, all action, high flying, technical wrestling. It had everything, and all 6 men have charisma as well.
In
it was easy to invest in the match, easy to care about the outcome, and yeah, I've got nothing else to say on it. It was just outstanding. I really loved it.
Yeah, they smashed it. Obviously, Kenta now in Impact for a little bit, from the next set of tapings at least. He's facing Speedball. He's facing Josh. There's some other mix of Kenta's got another banging match on there. I can't remember who against, but Kenta's gonna be busy on this show, on these next few shows, and I cannot wait to see it. And I also can't wait to see who he faces at the Multiverse United either, because again, there's so many to choose from, and given that Speedball and Josh already in matches, and now Moose is against Jeff Cobb, which is going to be holy moly. I just can't wait to see what happens at the Multiverse, because if that's anything to go by, it's going to be incredible to see. Also, I want to give a shout out to Tom Hannaford and Matthew Raywalt on commentary, particularly for this match. I and more so to Raywalt for this one thing. I like it when a commentator who used to wrestle, who is a wrestler, mentions the fact that they face this person. They know what they're experiencing. It's the people in the ring. He's felt what this person is experiencing in the ring. It makes it so much easier to understand. Even though you can't, if you're a hardcore diehard wrestling fan, you can sort of understand it. But hearing it from someone telling you what it must feel like, and because they know what it feels like, it just works so much better. And also Tom Hannafin is excellent. He pointed out that he knew Kenta. He spent time with Kenta. If Kenta doesn't like him, I don't want to find out why.
Yeah.
But it did so well. Ray Wyatt and Hannafin are the best commentary duo in wrestling right now.
I'll go with that.
I mean, a few years ago, last month, or whatever, 2 months ago, I might have said Cole and
Graves.
McAfee. Yes, Pat McAfee, whatever they call him. But Hannafin and Ray Wyatt are smashing it, and them because they have a better dynamic because they've already worked together, they already knew each other, and it just works really well. And Impact are getting to experience the whole thing. So, just quickly on the multiverse, it's sold out in days. That is massive.
Mm.
Do you hope this is just a start to what Impact can do? Because Impact, they sell out sporadically. It's never sell out. It's sell out, half full, sell out, a few there. Do you think after this Impact could do like bigger venues? If because or do you think that the New Japan is the leading force in the sellout?
I think it's fair to say that New Japan is the force behind the sellout. I don't know how big the venue is for WrestleCon this year, but they usually pack in a fair few. I think it's unfair to say that the sellouts for Impact are sporadic. They book venues where they know they can probably sell out, especially for the Impact Plus specials and the pay-per-views. Maybe the tapings are 2/3 full, 3/4 full, and they have to do deals to get people in there, like bog-offs and come to the pay-per-view and you get the tapings for free and things like that. But they've made themselves a rod for their own back by doing such good pay-per-views and specials.
Yeah,
people want to be there. Sometimes, the tapings have. I don't know what my point is here, because the tapings are always good as well. But yeah, the pay-per-views and the specials have this reputation of being so good that you've got to go. If they're in the area, you've got to go and see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it is New Japan. They're the reason that Multiverse has sold out so quickly, and Ospreay and Bayley, people want to see that match. And then there's that possibility of will Mercedes Moné be on the show, and because she was the reason Battle in the Valley sold out so quickly.
Scott D'Amore wants that match.
Oh yeah,
he stated that he wants that match, Mercedes versus Mickey James, and surely they can make this happen. But anyway,
I'm sure they will. Whether it'll be under what banner, we'll have to wait and see. But I think the smart money is putting it on Multiverse.
That surely is it, and it's already sold out, so they can. That's whatever the hell they want now. Let's be real. It's already
exactly,
sold out.
But then you've got pay-per-view buys to think of as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. The tag match out of 10, what are you giving it?
I will give it a 9.
I'm going to say 8, but it's as close to a 9 as you can get without giving it a 9.
Gotcha.
Next up, Knockouts World Championship. Mickey James defeats Marsha Slamovich. What are your thoughts on this one, and on the direction of Marsha next? Because keeps losing now. What's going on there?
I don't know. I hope they know what they're doing with Masha Slamovich, because they had a hot new monster heel, and She's had 3 championship matches. She's lost them all clean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to rebuild her now as a credible threat. Unless you take her away and bring her back after a couple of months. It's tough. If you wanted to protect Masha and save her for when Mickie James is ready to drop the belt, then don't let her win the 4-way at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Give her a title shot later on in the year. Give this title match to Taylor Wilde or someone. I don't know. The match was good. We knew it would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's frustrating to see what they're doing with Masha. I hope they've got a plan and a direction for her.
Surely they must. I've said it a few times. I said it before. Masha losing to Jordan didn't really do that much damage, but losing a second time, that's where it started for me.
Yeah.
Because you say Masha's going to kill you. Masha's going to kill you. She's not though. She can be beaten.
Yeah.
It's happened. She lost to Taylor Wilde in a singles match on Impact. She's losing title matches. It's not doing her any favors. And like I said, what's happening there? Because if you're just gonna have her lose pretty much 3 or 4 times in a row, yeah, she won the 4-way, but I think that might be her latest win in that fatal 4-way.
Mm.
I can't remember when she won another match. It sucks that this is happening so quickly as well.
Yeah.
I understand that they want to keep Mickie hold the title a little bit longer. Fair enough. Then if you want, why couldn't they just have Jordan interfere or something and set up a triple threat of rebellion? Surely that could have been a better direction. But again, to see Marshall losing all the time now, it feels like I don't understand why. That's my thing. If I could see a reason behind it, I wouldn't really. I'd understand it, but I can't. It's you have her come in, beat everyone. Yeah, it's a lot of squash matches in there, but then she started beating legit contenders and had, for a lot of people, tied match of the night at Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
From this now to happen when she's losing on a regular basis. As far as the match goes, very, very good. Mickie James has proven that she hasn't lost a step and is still right where she has always been, particularly in Impact Wrestling. And it's a question. What do you make to Mickie James keep throwing back to the Trish Stratus feud, like the kisses and all that? Because is it become a bit too much, or is that the right? Because it seems that I feel like save it for big matches, but it seems to happen in majority of our matches now.
I don't have an issue with it. I think people remember it very fondly. So to give it the odd callback, I don't think there's any harm in that. I love the spot where Mickie bit Masha's tongue.
Yeah, excellent. Mickie.
I don't think I've ever seen that in wrestling.
No,
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was very good. And I've just seen a lot of complaints, like you always get complaints about everything, that it's happening a bit too often. It's more Facebook than anywhere else, but Facebook's a dumpster fire, so No, it's like I said, people know that feud. People remember that spot. I mean, some of it got cut out, but it's very. It's what Mickie James does. She can play the psychological games just as well as anyone else.
Yeah,
and does it very, very effectively.
Pardon me.
So before we move on to the main event, out of 10, what do you give the Knockouts World Title match?
I give it an 8.
I'm going 8.5.
Okay.
Because for me it was the co-main event because it was very, very good. Now for the main event. Impact World Championship, Josh Alexander, the Walking Weapon, defeats Rich Swann. Not really a surprise, but still a very entertaining match. For me, it almost seemed like they were testing a heel turn for Josh. It felt like they were just seeing what they could get away with because he was very heelish in this one, even in the build-up. You know, for me, it felt like that anyway. That he was kind of testing the bad guy waters and pushing Swan around, and kicking him in the face and all that. What's your take on that, and also on the match?
I don't think that's true. I don't think they were testing the waters for a heel turn. I think Josh was leaning on Rich, but without being full-blown heel. But in the build-up, Josh wanted the Rich Swann that was Impact World Champion. Felt like Rich had lost a step, wanted to bring him back up to that level. So for me, that made sense to try and fire Rich up and get the most out of him. I thought this match was outstanding. I think it might be the best match this year. I know it's only was March 1st. Only 2 months in, but yeah, probably the match I've most enjoyed this year.
Yeah.
The only negativity I have towards this match is I never for one moment thought Rich was going to win the match.
Yeah.
We know they're building to Josh and Macklin. We don't know, but it's obvious. So
Yes.
yeah, I never thought Rich would win the world title in this match. I thought, well, there's no way that Josh loses, and there's no way that Josh doesn't win clean. So I was just waiting for that, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the match suffered, because it was amazing. The in-ring action, the story they told was fantastic. But yeah, the only down I have on that is that, yeah, I never believed Rich would win the match.
No, and that seems to be a almost a feature of Josh's world title run. Is, you know, it's not that the opponents aren't credible. It's that, well, they're clearly pushing towards Josh becoming the longest reigning world champion, and it didn't happen. The only, for me, like actual possible winners of the matches I could see from pretty much all of his title run would be Eddie and Bully, and Eddie's only just slightly.
I thought there was a chance, because of the amazing build-up, I thought there was a chance that Kazarian might do it at Overdrive.
Yeah.
They had a hell of a match. Yeah, and then I thought Bully might be the guy to do it and have a short run before Josh reclaims the belt. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for Sacrifice, whether they're going to do a title match or save it for Josh and Macklin at Rebellion. But it seems like Macklin is the first real threat to Josh.
I said it. Macklin is my pick for the next world champion. No matter what happens, Macklin is the next world champion, and I think he will win it at Rebellion. Even
though it's in Canada.
Yeah, I think they will. I really do. It's Josh. No, they wanted Josh to be the longest world champion. He's done that. Now he's set his own reign. By the time we get to Rebellion, it'll be even longer. I think, yeah, Macklin. If Macklin breaks that in front of Josh's home, particularly if you want Macklin to stay heel, that's the place to do it for me.
Oh, okay. You make a good, compelling argument, Craig.
That's what what I hope to see anyway. As far as this match against Rich goes, Rich Swann, I mean, what a competitor. He's so good at what he can do. There was a few little things here and there that, it was with Rich's character. He's not the best promo, for instance, but he's very good at getting the crowd excited for something. He can do that very well. And Josh is the best world champion in wrestling right now. Obviously there's Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns is on another level anyway, so he can just
God mode.
Yeah. But as far as this match goes, I never believed Rich was going to win it. But what a match though! There was a few seconds where they nearly had me. They nearly had me believing that maybe, but it would have taken a lot for me to fully believe that one. So what do you see next for Rich?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd like to see him get a tag partner and chase the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
I thought they missed an opportunity by not giving the belts to Rich and Willie when Willie was still with the company. Willie Mack, that is.
Yeah.
Because he's done everything else. X Division champion, world champion, digital media champion. He's not going to be in the world title picture now.
No.
But put him in the tag title picture.
Yeah.
I don't know who you would team him with. That's a tough question. Any ideas?
Not a clue. I have no idea how they could do this with Rich Swann. I would like to see him when tag team titles, because that's really anything left from do. That would be, a Grand Slam champion technically, even though he hasn't won the other titles.
Yeah,
but it would be a Grand Slam champion.
Here's an idea. What about the Motor City Machine Guns versus Rich Swann and Jordan Grace?
That's a possibility. Again, Jordan's already a Grand Slam knockout. I would like to see Jordan win one of the more besides the knockout title in terms of the men's divisions, because can't really call them men's divisions now. We've had a women's world champion, but in terms of the main three that people consider the Triple Crowns, I'd like to see Jordan win something like that. I've always wanted that. Had it not been for Tessa, I think, slowing it down with what happened with her world title run, I think Jordan could have been a world champion by now. But whether they do it or not, do you reckon they could? Is that a possibility in the future, do you think, for Jordan?
Definitely in the future. They've obviously got their world title picture right now.
Yeah.
But there's so many contenders, viable contenders right now. You've had Bully Ray, Macklин's the next world champion according to yourself, but he's the next challenger. Then there's Kazarian. I've always said PCO will be the world champion. I could see Jordan slotting into that world title picture nicely.
Yeah.
But not right now.
No.
Maybe this time next year.
It's more than possible. Jordan seems very happy with Impact and all that. Just quickly, did you see Impact and AW Styles were in an advert apparently? I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, they did an advert in the States for something.
Okay.
I thought I saw an article. I didn't read it though. I'll have to find it again. I'll have to check that out, because I think Gresham, Grace, Zicky Dice, Evil Uno, and a few it's part of the House of Black. Brody
King.
He's in it as well, and a few others.
All right.
Yeah, and
What,
at the
TV
end,
advert?
apparently, yeah, in the States,
Right.
and apparently cut angles in it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to try and check that one out. If you know what it is, let us know in the comments, because
Yeah, please
if
do.
you've got a link, send it to us, because we want to see that.
Mm.
But as far as the Impact World Title match goes, out of 10, what are you giving it?
I give it a 9. The reason it wasn't 9.5 or 10 is because the outcome was so obvious.
Yeah, I'm with you. 9. It's a very good match, but yeah, like I said, the kind of knew what was coming. It could have swerved us, but it didn't feel like it was happening anytime soon.
Exactly.
But now, I think, but that did prove that, because I know the Kenny Omega match, Rich wasn't as best with an injury or whatever it was with Rich.
Yeah.
That proved he can go with the best, which we knew anyway, but that confirmed it
Yeah,
for a lot of
exactly.
people, I'm sure. And he, that match against Kenny Omega was just unlucky.
Yeah. I felt bad for Rich on that one because it was a big opportunity. A lot of eyes on him, and he shit the bed, in my opinion. But I don't know what the circumstances were, whether he had an injury or whether he was sick or just not mentally prepared, or had something else going on in his life. We don't know. So yeah, I'm glad Rich was able to, like you said, prove he can be. I mean, he was world champion already. We know he's the main eventer, but he can go with the very, very best in the world.
Yeah, precisely. So overall, entire show combined, what are you giving it out of 10?
8.5, like I said at the start of the show. I'm not changing my rating. I thought it was a really, really solid show, just somewhat uneventful and a bit predictable.
I'm going with a solid 8, but again, pretty damn close to that 9. Whether I'm sure there will be at some point a 10 out of 10 pay-per-view, but it's gonna take a lot. In our opinion, anyway. It's just this is all our opinion. You let us know what you thought in the comments. But with that, go check us out here, there, everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you podcast. As I said earlier in the show, all our content we put up here on our YouTube channel. Go check out everything we do. Great bunch of guys creating some great content for all you to enjoy. Even if you're not an Impact fan, we cover Brit Wrestling here, so if you like that, or if we've even spoken about AEW a lot and WWE a few times as well. So we try and cater to all needs, but just go check out what we do, because it takes a lot of time, and we really appreciate your feedback on whatever we do. So comment below, share it wherever you can. If there's anything else to plug, just follow us here, there, everywhere. I've been MSC. Oh, shout out to Frank Fiat for the theme song as well. Can't forget that. Great theme song. With that, I've been at MIC. This has been Nixon. Until next time, goodbye, my friends.